Welcome back to Dead Good Book Reviews and to the first TBR of 2021. How exciting. I did some thinking. Maybe I could shake up how I did my TBRs in 2021 because for the first time since November, I have an owned TBR again. Haven't had that for quite some time. Maybe we could gamify it. You know, a lot of people do games for their TBR. What could I do? You know, something obscure and wonderful. Maybe I could track the population of beavers worldwide, and every time it goes up, I pick a different book on my TBR. I ended up going with, no, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to stick to what I know, which is picking various categories of things, putting them on my TBR and hoping for the best. So I can't remember how many, I can't bother to count it. I think it's 15 or 16 books that I want to get to in January. It should be doable. As you know, I'm starting a new job in January. I don't know how busy I'm going to be. 15, 16, I think I can do it. And there's a good mix of stuff in here as well. Let's do things in categories. Category number 1 is Animorphs. Not particularly exciting or unpredictable, I'm afraid. I'm just planning on reading more Animorphs books. I want to read Animorphs 14, which is for January, and I want to also read, this is where I'm pushing myself, it's a new year. That's the only new year, new me you're going to hear, is I want to read another Animorphs book in January. I would like to finish Animorphs 15 as well, just so I'm a bit more ahead of the game. Otherwise I end up having to read, write, script, edit, film, all of the things all in 1 week, and I don't like doing that. Those two are on the list. I think I might even get to Animorphs 14 right at the start of the month. We shall see. My next category would normally be Overbooked for my series Overbooked, but past me did some thinking apparently and was like, no, we won't have any of those in January. So while I have a lot of writing and filming and editing to do for Overbooked in January, I don't have any books that need reading for that, which is pretty nice. So nothing in that category. I'm looking over at my laptop to see what's next. NetGalley. So my NetGalley shelf is building up again, but I've only picked 2 that I'm going to put on this TBR. I'm trying to leave space so that when things come in that are like January releases and it's already January, because sometimes that happens, then I've got a bit more room to read other things. So that's why I haven't just put everything on NetGalley on there and been like, yeah, we'll read it, it'll be fine. So I have Curse of the Divine. Let's put covers up. I have Curse of the Divine by Kim Schmeckel, which is the sequel to Ink and the Blood, Tattoo Magic. Looking forward to reading it. This was on my sequels I ought to read list. And yeah, it's coming out soon and I'm looking forward to getting to it. Do I need to reread Ink and the Blood? I'm hoping not, because I'm not going to. I think this is one I'm just going to jump in and go for. And then the other book, which I am filming this towards the end of December. I'm assuming I won't have finished it yet, but I might have started it. I haven't started it as of filming this, Galaxy and the Ground Within by Becky Chambers. There's a fair amount of Becky Chambers on this TBR because I just want to. I want to reread the whole series, and you don't need to read them in order, so it's going fine. But yes, this is the 4th book / 4th or 5th, depending on where you count the novella, and I'm really looking forward to it. I know Justine is reading it at the moment, and I'm nervous but excited, and I think it's going to be great. I then always tend to prioritise physical arcs regardless of when their release dates are. I only have one at the moment, and it is Sister Song. Again, this is technically on my December TBR. I could start it in the next couple of days. I don't know if I'm going to, so I'm putting it on this TBR just in case. Sister Song is, I've talked about it so many times, it's a retelling, one of the child ballads, which is a murder ballad, woman turned into a harp, Celtic, a war-torn land abandoned by the Romans. I mean, it could be great. I don't know yet. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet as well. I think it's that April release date. It's not in a rush, but I think I just need to start it and then I will be on a roll. Let's make a stack. You can't see that. Let's make a stack that you can see. There we go. So those are all of my arcs. Now I'm going to go on to rereads that are not for Overbooked. There's a lot of categorizing in this TBR. I don't think I will keep that up for the whole of the year. So I have a few things I want to reread because there are sequels coming out. One of which is Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine. I don't know. I need to look up how you pronounce their name. This is the first book in this series, and the second book, A Desolation Called Peace, I have on NetGalley, which I want to read in February, so I am desperately trying to reread this. This will be my 3rd time reading this, but every single time I've read it, I've got more out of it, so I'm hoping that will happen again for a 3rd time. I just want to understand this world properly before I read the sequel, because I'm aware that the first time I read this, I didn't really understand it. This is a book about diplomacy in space, sort of, so we have a main character who is from a entirely in space kind of culture, and she goes down to a planet to be a diplomat and just falls in love with their culture, but there's a lot of other stuff happening, and it's really, really good, and I'm excited to read it again. I had mentioned more Becky Chambers. I do want to reread To Be Taught If Fortunate, definitely. I think I want to reread Record of a Spaceborne Few, just because why not? And also it's slightly for overbooked. I do have an overbooked video that I need to do for Wayfarers, so why not reread them? I love them anyway. I did reread Closed in Common Orbit in December, so that's why that one will be missing, because Space Sirens Book Club are reading The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I will link them below, but this is our book pick for January, and I have read this before. I've read it multiple times, and I'm really excited to get to read it again. I'm so looking forward to hearing everyone's thoughts on this. I hope they all love it. If they don't love it, I don't know what's going to happen. Justine and I will start a schism and just abscond. Yes, so it, as I say, is quite a Becky Chambers month. It'll be fine. Let's do audiobook and then owned TBR. So my audiobook is, I've already forgotten what it's called, Fools something. It is the third book in the 20-man series, and my brain will not hang on to what it's called. Fool's Fate, there we go, which I started this month in December, and I haven't really had the inclination to listen to it. As with most of the Robin Hobb audiobooks that I've done, I just need to get like a certain percentage of the way through, and then I tend to whiz through the rest of it in fairly quick succession. So I'm assuming that I will get to that point soon. If I finish that, I will go on to whatever's next in that series, but I don't know what that is, and I'm not going to look it up right now. But I am still really enjoying those via audiobook, and I would definitely recommend if you are interested. Do I need to explain Robin Hobb to you? I don't think I do. Let's move on to the exciting part. It's really weird having an owned TBR again. I have 5 books I've picked out. The first one of which is Riot Baby, and I am really looking forward to this. This is a Tor novella. All of these were Christmas gifts. So this, I think, is dystopian, kind of superhero-y. We have this ruined city. We have, hang on, I've just found the quote. Rooted in the hope that can live in anger, Riot Baby is as much an intimate family story as a global dystopian narrative. It burns fearlessly towards revolution and has quietly devastating things to say about love, fury, and the Black American experience. This was on my books I missed in 2020 video list, so I am very pleased to have received it for Christmas off my wish list, and I'm looking forward to reading that this month. This next one is technically a reread, but it's a reread from, I want to say 2014, so I feel like it's basically reading it anew. This is The Killing Moon. I was gifted this by Bookish Wondergoth, thank you so much. This is N.K. Jemisin, and it's, I read it first on holiday in Italy the same summer that I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone for the first time. So they both hold a really special place in my heart, because that was one of my favourite summers ever. And this has dream gatherers. They harvest the magic of the sleeping mind and use it to heal, soothe, and kill those judged corrupt. I have a recollection of conspiracy, and really, I just remember really enjoying reading this. I think Daughter of Smoke and Bone fully captured my mind that summer, but this has haunted me ever since, especially since in 2020 I read so much Jemisin and really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to keeping going and rereading this and revisiting 2014 Judith. It might have been 2013. Another technically a reread. This is the Traitor Baru Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. This is economics fantasy, and I read this a fair while ago, probably early on in the blogging days, but this was one of the first things I ever added to any kind of like, oh, that would be interesting to read when I got back into reading. And then I got a ARC copy of the second one when that came out into paperback, I think, and I need to read the third one, but again, I want to wait till that's out in paperback as well. And I just wanted to reread it, and I think it's going to be good fun. So yeah, economics, it's gay, it's really bleak, if I remember correctly, miserable, but the kind of good miserable that I enjoy, with a fair amount of politics and scheming and laying plans and being the smartest person in the room, which is something I always enjoy. I have Piranesi, I don't know, by Susanna Clarke. This was a gift from Justine. Thank you so much, Justine. Yeah, I don't know much about this, and I'm excited to read it. Ooh, her note is still in here, because I like to keep notes with the books. Messages appearing in chalk on the pavements. There's someone new in the house. The beauty of the house is immeasurable. The kindness is infinite. Yeah, I don't really know. I think it's going to be a bit conceptual, maybe? That's my guess, just from how it feels. But to go from reading Jonathan Strange, which I've unhauled it, but Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, to something much shorter, I think it'll be really interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. I have at least one friend who's really loved this. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, this last one is another kind of reread. I don't know what I'm doing this month. I have so many books that I've never read before that are just sort of sat there. But this is Heartstopper Volume 3. This was a gift from my wife. They've all kind of jumbled up in my head. So this is the bind up of the webcomic. This is the third one. I think the fourth one is out fairly soon, but I can't actually remember. And so far I've bought all of them. I really love this webcomic. I've kind of fallen off the wagon with it. You know how it happens? I'm very into Lore Olympus though. But yes, this is just wholesome, lovely graphic novel stuff. And I'm really looking forward to revisiting these adorable human beings. It's not quite in fitting with everything else on this TBR, but it will be fun nonetheless, and I'm looking forward to it. I think I have the other two. I keep all my graphic novels and stuff on a different shelf, so I will have to dig them out and see how nice they look next to each other, as one does when one buys series. I can't remember how many books that is. Editing Judith, please could you tell us on the screen now? Thank you so much. I am planning on vlogging this month. I am planning on telling you all about the things. I will do a wrap up, as I say, the full list of what I got for Christmas, both from other people and maybe from myself as well, will be going up as well. So if you haven't already, if you're brand new here, if you're joining us here at the start of a brand new year, please do subscribe. I would love to have you. You can hear all of my thoughts on all of these books as I read them and after I read them. Comment below, what are you planning on reading this month? I would love to know. Are you planning on reading any of these? Have you already read any of these? Do you have strong feelings? Let me know in the comments. While you're down there commenting, you can follow me on all of my social media. That's all linked. I've already asked you to subscribe, so that's all from me. And I will see you in the next one. There's gonna be some bloopers now. So, I've just washed my hair and it's a bit of a mess. One of which is, no, laptop, don't die, you're telling me all of the information. It should be fine. So this will be my third time.